Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, your fifth installment of the More Cans Ain't Wise podcast. As always, you're joined by me, Ben, and my co-host, James. James, how are you doing, bro?
I was doing all right until you started that accent, mate. How are we getting on?
I'm going to drop the accent then. I just thought it'd be nice to, give the listeners something different. We're 5 episodes in. We want to avoid being samey.
Yeah, I get that, mate. I'm looking forward to tonight. I think we've got a good episode for everyone.
I think so too. I think, we've got a bit of a surprise for everybody at home again. We've got another co-host. Welcome, everybody. Josh Wilkinson.
Hello.
How you doing, Josh?
I'm good. How are you two?
Oh, smashing. Actually, no. I've got to be honest. I've had a rubbish day. How are you?
Well, it's been all right. I was on the hunt for beer, so.
Wait till
How's your day been, Bob?
2 minutes in.
Well, yeah, I am going to lower the tone. Basically, looking for beers like we have been, I was really happy with myself because we'll go into this a bit later on, but getting hold of today's beer review beer has not been easy for us. And I was so happy with myself. I looked over at the passenger seat at the beers and, I reversed my car into an old lady in the lady's car, I might add, in the car park. And you know that
is an improvement, to be fair.
You know that guilty feeling you have? Yeah. Anyway, Mia, I'm sure you're listening. I'm so sorry, and I'll ring you in the morning. So how's your...
She might be able to park closer to the supermarkets now.
Very true. Very true. No, she was of blue badge age anyway, so... yeah.
Blue badge age, wow.
So that's my day today. So Wilco, you to introduce you to everybody who's listening, you are the Pina Colada King in my eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Remember?
That's how Charles remembers me, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw him the other week, and we were talking about the time that you whizzed up the blender and didn't put the lid on, and we had a Pina Colada stain on the ceiling.
It was good though. I was serving them up in pineapples.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, you were King Barman, and now James is King Barman, so you've had a bit of a role reversal.
Yeah.
I won't go that far, mate.
What, you're King Barman?
I mean, yeah, I'll take it, but there's got to be better people out there for that title.
Not amongst the three of us.
No, definitely not. No.
So, Wilco, we're going to ask everybody who comes on, what is your favourite context for a beer?
Could you turn it off? I keep freezing. Is your phone on the Wi-Fi? Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, Wilco, you just start your answer whenever.
Both of you guys are frozen on my screens.
Well, we're both being quiet because we're going to cut this all out so Wilco can answer the question.
Sorry about that.
I can't see anything though, that's the thing, so I can't tell.
You've just unfrozen.
Yeah, sorry, it keeps on going unstable. Everything, is it all working now?
Yeah, I think so. James is a bit like Lego man-ish, but I can't talk.
Both of you are frozen for me, and I've lost audio now.
Yeah, yours seems to be a bit dodgy. I can see both of you, though.
Yeah, James is moving again on mine.
I definitely want to keep that introduction.
That's fine. We can just cut to the edit to the content bit, can't we?
What, so you think start again?
No, it's fine. We can just.
Oh yeah, as soon as we're ready, Wilco just say his favourite context for a beer. But if you start saying ooh, and then it'll be easier to edit in.
Yeah, just lead me in.
Okay, but leave a bit of a pause between answering so I can see where it is. Right, so we're going to ask everybody when they come on the show, what is your favourite context for a beer? By that I mean, like the train beer, the plane beer, the automobile beer, the ones we've been discussing in previous shows.
Well, I thought about it, and it's got to be the barge beer.
Another beer in transit.
Yes.
You like to describe the barge beer?
Yeah, it usually ends up with hot sunny day.
Yeah.
Usually in a nice northern village.
Always.
And it just seems to be...
Rent a canal boat, dress like pirates or Vikings.
It doesn't have to be what you're drinking either. I mean, it's usually swill, but...
Exactly.
It's always been good on a barge.
Shite warm lager is actually really enjoyable most of the time because of where you're drinking it.
Yeah,
I remember one of these trips, Wilco, where you were ploughing through the crack and rum. I don't think you had a beer all day, to be fair.
Yeah, I used to love rum a bit too much, I think.
Yeah, no.
I tried to have some the other week, and it felt like I was just drinking fire. It was awful, the one I had.
Yeah, not in a good way.
Time catches us all, mate. Time catches us all.
Well, the reason that you're on today, really, is because you've got more into this than I think even we have. Maybe on par, because, we're here prattling on about it every week.
Yeah.
But, you're drinking along with us, and you've been on a bit of an IPA journey. What would you say your beer of the lockdown is so far?
Oh, it's one I had within the last week.
Yeah.
It's by Fierce, which I don't think I've had a bad one by them, and they do a lot of small batch beers as well. So it's kind of, you feel, it's that fear of missing out. You want to buy them because they're not going to stay around. But it was a peach,
like a true addict, mate.
Yeah, it was a peach Melba Pale, and not made. Like how Tiny Rebel put the syrups in to make it a bit more. This is brewed with actual peaches in, a little bit of raspberry in, it says, and so it's quite subtle, but it's fantastic. It was absolutely delicious.
This has a lot of hints of I heard that band before they were famous type vibes about it, how it's proper music and proper beer, and they only make a few, so you probably haven't had it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think part of the reason why I've got so back into it is because I just didn't drink for a while. So I had before, so yeah, it's really good. I've got pineapple tart by them as well that I'm saving for a hot day.
Oh, I've seen that can. It looks nice.
Yeah, pineapple sour.
Is this the evolution of a man who used to only listen to the second CD on the Now That's What I Call albums?
The first one was always the best.
Oh, fair play. I stand corrected.
That's a connoisseur speaking right there.
Oh, man.
That's what's the best two you've had in lockdown so far?
Ooh,
good question.
You know what? I've got a lot of things written down here. I've not got any responses planned to any questions because I didn't think we were going to get any. James, do you know?
I had the coconut cream Stay Puffed over the weekend. The Stay Puffed Tiny Rebel. It was pretty delicious. So also the Castle's double cream milk stout from New Zealand, Christchurch, New Zealand. Incredible. So I'm on a bit of a dark tip at the moment, so especially with the weather closing in the last couple of days, it's been great.
By contrast, this is going to sound very boring, but probably the breakfast stout from Red Willow, which is about a mile away from my work in Macclesfield. So,
I mean, you're keeping local businesses in trade, mate. So
yeah, I'm putting my body at serious harm. Serious harm keeping these breweries going single-handedly.
Another body's serious harm. It sounds why you're driving today in the supermarket.
We can't laugh. It was a genuine mistake, and anyway, we'll let the court decide whose fault it was. So, should we go into the beer review then?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, go on. Tell us about this beer then.
So, gentlemen, Anchor Steam this week. Anchor Brewery, This is San Francisco, California, West Coast. This is a true American classic, this beer. So the name Steam.
Yeah.
This beer's in this form or variations has been brewed over 100 years, 1896. This exact beer has been bottled like this for nearly 50 years. So it's called Steam, late 1890s. Refrigeration was a real luxury. So to get round that, the brewers used a lager yeast because it could brew at a higher temperature because they didn't have the ice to cool it down. And they used shallow brewing tanks. So when the warm brew hit the foggy San Franciscan air, created a lot of steam. So that style of beer was called a steam beer. I mean, now just Anchor is allowed to call it a steam because they're like the one. This is like the traditional steam beer of the West Coast. So this is a very old, very traditional, people also call it a Californian common beer. So it's easy accessible lager yeast, brewed at a slightly higher temperature, very traditional way of brewing it. So taste wise, it's super, super easy drinking. Very, very malty.
Yeah.
Medium body. You'll see it when you pour it. It's red in colour. I really like it because just the balance between malt and hop. So you'll get that initial malt when you taste it, like caramelly, biscuity taste, and then it finishes in that hop. I just think it's a super easy drinking beer, and I thought we've done quite a lot of beers in the UK, so I thought this would be a fantastic way to kind of show. Before we go East Coast, I thought West Coast and show you one of the all-time great American beers.
That's amazing because I mean it looks pretty unassuming. It's difficult to get your hands on in this country, I would say. Never heard of it before and never seen it on draft. So
it's a weird one, especially the West Coast stuff. I think that'll change over the next few years, but you very rarely see anything West Coast based on keg in this country. It's just simply because it has to travel so far.
Yeah.
So you've got Flash in San Diego, for example, makes some of the best sours and some of the best IPAs in the world, but you can't get their beers because it's got to travel like days by boat, by truck or lorry to get to the East Coast, and then days by ship to get over here. So nearly all the American beers that you'll get in the UK are from Maine, Vermont, New England area, just because it's so close in comparison.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about the taste, Wilco?
I like it. It's I think because the past couple of weeks I've just been drinking IPAs or stouts.
Yeah.
The first thing I said to you is it's just lager, but then once you get a few tastes of it, it's actually really nice. It's somewhere it's got more body, like you said, James, than just a normal lager. I think it's somewhere between almost a lager and a amber ale.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that, mate. I think because it used lager yeast, and the Americans will call this a lager, so similar to like a Sam Adams from the East Coast. Yeah. The Americans will call this a lager because it uses lager yeast. But what we've come accustomed to in this country is the German East European version of a lager, which then becomes our versions of lager, which are very different, very lighter in appearance. Brewed differently.
Are you sure, Wilco, you weren't just feeling guilty about hearing the long history of this highly acclaimed beer? It tastes like lager, mate.
I mean, I poured it out and it's gone down, like James says, it's very easy. It's gone.
It is a very easy to drink, isn't it?
I could imagine just getting through quite a few of them without really thinking about it and not, and
getting steaming.
Either it's not as carbonated as some.
Mm.
I mean, it is like when we talk about a classic beer, it is almost like a classic car in that sense. I mean, you've got to remember that this beer has been made in certain guises for 120 years, and like in this form, nearly 50 years.
Which is unbelievable, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's never going to blow you away in terms of huge out there hoppiness, which is in fashion now, or fruitiness, simply because that wasn't the style. And
Yeah.
they brewed with what they had and what atmospherics they had to deal with and access to cooling, like I said. So it is an American classic. I mean, I love it particularly. I mean, I have been over to Anchor, been to the brewery.
Ah, okay.
And you do get drawn into that, like you guys are saying, that story of it. That
Yeah,
I prefer it because of the story, definitely.
Yeah.
To tighten up our proceedings and moving forward, how we're going to be rating all these beers, I've come up with some criteria. Feel free to add any, but I think we should rate all future beers on sessionability, affordability, attainability, and taste. I think they're the big boys for me.
Yeah, I think that's definitely.
So can I ask you guys for a sessionability out of 10?
Oh, 8.5, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at an 8 there as well. I'd agree with that.
I'm going for 9, so makes it easier to get an average. Affordability, that's miss.
So we should probably talk about supermarkets and stuff, shouldn't we? So
Yeah.
I mean, to let you guys into it, like I told Josh and Ben at the beginning of the week that we were doing this, and I just assumed that that everyone had access to an Asda in the UK, and 2, that all Asdas would sell it. I've been to 3 Asdas today, and none of them had it.
That's awful.
I got the last bottle on the shelf and it was halfway back. I was stood for about 5-10 minutes and I was going through each label looking for it. Because I wasn't too familiar what the bottle looked like either. So it's not one of them things you can just...
You know, when they launch like 4G or whatever, or 5G, and then they show all these like areas that have it, and then there's these little cross sections that aren't really London, Birmingham, or like, aren't near a major town or city. Well, I reckon I'm in a dark spot for Asda's round here. This particular part of Cheshire is not, it's not got a lot of Asda's around. So,
you've never sounded more middle class there, mate.
Yeah.
50-minute round trip.
My part of Cheshire, nowhere near Asda's. I like that.
Well, I've got to be honest, it was awful in Asda's. It was very busy. There was nobody making sure who went in, who went out. But they had the beer, so I can't complain. Affordability, we're saying, well.
So I ended up, shout out to Steve at Al Star Bar in Saltaire. Always has bottles and bottles and bottles of this. So I paid £2.50 for this bottle today.
Al Star Bar in Saltaire, everybody. We'll make a pilgrimage there as soon as we can.
So £2.50, I think it's excellent value for that. It's an 8 for me on affordability.
Okay, 8. Wow, how much cheaper? Okay, fair. Yep. Wilco?
I'd say about 7. I think for what James has said as well, with it being quite niche on getting it across as well, and for actually what it is for a good lager, it's not that bad. I think I paid £2.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. That's good.
And
right.
We have to remember as well for that it is made in San Francisco and imported.
Yeah.
It's not.
Whoa.
It's not
don't bring common sense to the table.
It's not brewed under license, so it is imported. So
should brew it round here if they're asked. Right, attainability. I think attainability was pretty poor because there's no Asda's round here, and you went to 3 Asda's that didn't have it.
It's a 3 for me for this. I was fortunate enough to know somebody that had it. But
I asked our artisan bottle shops, and 2 of them, well, because I was like, "Hi, have you got any Anchor Steam?" And they were like, "What on earth are you asking here? Anchor Steam? Oh, right, right? No, we don't. Anchor Steam." But yeah, so Wilco, attainability, I'm giving it a big fat 2. What are you going?
I'll give it a 5 just because I've only got one Asda near me and it was in there.
And finally, taste, right? Without any explanation, boys, out of 10.
8.5 for me.
Wilco?
7.5 for me.
7.5, and I'm giving it. I'm going to give it a 7. Feeling a bit harsh. Right.
I'm thinking we should add branding onto this. I think
branding. Right. Okay. So how aware of it we are.
Yes.
And the look of it.
And the look of it.
Right. Okay. Bloody hell. Well, I mean, we've not exactly sung its praises on the branding front, but go on. Let's have a number each.
It's going to be it's a classic for me, but I understand probably in the modern market it doesn't look particularly great, but it is a classic. I'm going for a 7 for branding.
Yep. Josh? A 1. And then I'm going to give it a 3 because, you know what, why not? Right, so...
And hopefully that should give us a score out of 50.
So I'm going to tottle those up later, and then we'll do a bit of a release of what it is, you know.
And we will go back retrospectively and do all the others to give you an idea.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. And then everybody, you know, they're crying out for top quality content, James. And there's only so much we can do. We need to make more. Exactly. So speaking of which, have you got a worst purchase for us? Because the top 3 this week, we're doing our top 3 worst purchases, which could go down a number of avenues. James, do you want to kick us off?
So I've gone with 2 personal and 1 general. I'm going to start out quite themed during this lockdown or whatever. At the beginning of this year and the end of last year, I purchased flights and accommodation for 3 separate stag do's during April and May. Not ideal purchases, it has to be said.
Who did you book with? Are you British Airways getting your money back, or are you Ryanair getting your money back when the never?
So big shout out to Jet2 and to British Airways and Chili Sauce Stag Do Company for sorting out our refunds for Prague and Warsaw.
Yeah.
Ryanair can go suck a bag of dicks.
Oh, you know, I promised myself I wasn't going to laugh in the mic this week, and I've just ruined it. Suck a bag of dicks.
Yeah, not a big fan. And also, like, when you get the money back, it's great, but it's like, this money should be going on watching one of your mates get destroyed by an Eastern European stripper. This is money for a bottomless brunch on a boat down the Danube or whatever. So
yeah. I mean, I know how you feel. So I today found out that I'm going to be able to go to the Euros again next year, having booked the flights and all that. They'll get refunded when they get refunded, but it doesn't clash with weddings and what. Oh, actually, James and Charlotte, it doesn't clash with your wedding, so don't worry, I'll definitely be there now.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a kill of the Euros because we were supposed to go to the final this year.
You had tickets to the final. Well, you still do. Oh, I think the signal's bad. I think I've just lost everyone.
It carries over to next year, but
James.
Still a bit of a...
James, we lost. Oh, I'm unstable.
Welcome.
I can hear you both.
I've got you now. I've got you both now. Right, James, do we start about the finals still this year?
So, yeah, I took it to the final, which is a bit gutting, but it's still going on next year, which is fine, but it's still just a bit of a buzz killer in for this year. Yeah, but like, you know, at least it's going ahead. You know, unless China and India have this world war that they're planning. I didn't put the European football tickets in there because 1, I didn't pay for them, so not really my purchase, and 2, it's happening next year. So
yeah, fair play. Right then, I've got one bad purchase. It's just it's one of those things where, you know, you feel dead clever when you buy it, and then you find out that you're actually thick and life's meaningless, and you should probably just never try to improve your life. I was like, I watched those adverts, you know, Alpecin, the the German engineering for your hair shampoo.
Oh, the caffeine.
Yeah, it's like German engineering for your hair, and then the sound of some race cars. You're like, yeah, come on, vroom, vroom, I want this. And it's like caffeine shampoo. What better boost in the morning, you know, but if you're knackered from the night before, just wash your hair with a bit of caffeine. Don't need a coffee, because I don't drink hot drinks. Just wash my hair with Alpacin. So I went into work a few days later, and I was like, fucking hell, lad, you need to try this Alpacin shampoo. It's great. I felt really awake every morning. He's like, yeah, mate, that's for hair loss. That's like if you need to thicken your hair, which you don't. So, you know.
Is it really? I mean,
Yeah.
I would have fallen for that because
It sounds like it. Alpacin shampoo. It's like, yeah, get up in the morning. Get up and go. So, yeah, that's one of my worst purchases, just because the egg on my face. And, well, my hair's really thick now. And during lockdown, I look like a Lego man, which thanks to Helen for pointing that out. And James, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say that was pretty tough. I looked like I was stealing somebody's joke.
Yeah, it was minutes later.
Yeah, I looked on Twitter and it was like 17 minutes previously. I was like, oh my God, it just looks like I'm a thief. It looks like I'm just intellectual property has just been stolen right now.
You had to acknowledge it, didn't you? Like, oh yeah, I actually said this on a different platform. Like, I didn't actually just see it, and yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what would be funny. Post on my own podcast page. Save it, so.
Well, I thought it'd be funny to post on the podcast page today, and I got absolutely rinsed. I'll never do it again. Josh, have you got a terrible purchase that you've made?
Yeah, so I don't usually buy stuff without thinking it through, but mine is I bought a leather jacket one, a brown, because I'd seen Michael Fassbender in X-Men First Class, and I thought, yeah, that looks good. I'll look like Michael Fassbender if I put on that jacket.
Yeah.
I ordered it. It came. I tried it on. I took it straight off. Sent it straight back. No one. I didn't even do the. Do you think this looks all right on me?
I wish you had. I really wish you had.
Yeah, stupid. 21, big lanky fella. I look stupid. Yeah. I look cool. So yeah.
You know when you see boxer shorts in Sports Direct, and you see that like incredibly jacked guy wearing briefs. Do you buy them expecting to look like him?
What do you mean? Yeah, of course.
Right, James, you got a number 2 for us?
I have. Fernando Torres to Chelsea.
You caught us by surprise. Oh, right. Okay. So is this a personal one? Were you involved in the transaction?
I wasn't involved with the transaction. I do have to say there is a bit of mitigation for the Gary Neville orgasm at Barcelona, but for me, 50 million quid's a lot of money to not score any goals.
Yeah, he was past it then.
Yeah.
I mean,
go on. Sorry, go on.
After you, mate.
I was listening to the Jamie Carragher podcast a couple of months ago, and he was on about the Fernando Torres deal, and he said we couldn't believe that offer, and he was like, I was telling everyone at the club just to take it.
Really?
He knew that he was past it. He was shot.
Bloody hell. Nobody else knew. I thought he was like, because I mean, he used to always turn it on against United, so I thought he was the best footballer in the world for a little bit. And then he went to Chelsea and was, the best footballer in the world, not the worst. But yeah.
Well, it was a pretty sharp decline, wasn't it?
A Ben Blunt level of decline. Josh, have you got a second, mate?
Yeah, the second one is I bought fish in a jar once.
What's a fish in a jar?
So, fish in a jar is on Joe Lindsay's stag do. We found this really nice bar in the middle of the day for some lunch.
Mm.
And I ordered what I thought was, a light snack just to coax me out of my hangover.
Yeah.
And it was like it said smoked mackerel or something, but with a bit of salad. And I just thought, that's light, it'll sort me out. and it came, and it was like, it wasn't smoked, it was like poached fish in a jam jar
Mm.
with some leaves scattered over it. It was the hardest thing to eat because it was in a jam jar.
I've got to stop you there. I'm just, thank the Lord. When you said fish in the jar, I imagine you'd gone to the local like gala and seen a carny and just got like literally a goldfish in a jam.
Take all my money.
But James, these are both preferable to actual jam in a jar. I'm guessing for you, the hater of jam, as it turns out.
4 or 5 people have messaged me. In fact, somebody walked up to me in the street in Bradford and said, "How do you not like jam?"
I got a text saying, "How does he not like jam? The best condiment." Charlotte,
if you're listening, I am very sorry, but 1, jam, not a condiment. 2, jam, horrendous.
But if you're hoping for smoked mackerel on a hangover, you deserve whatever you get.
Yeah,
whatever is being served to you.
I'm
the
sorry
abuse I got as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry to team up on you here, Wilco, but 100%. If you're ordering a smoked oily fish in continent, where was it?
Estonia.
Yeah,
it was either Slovakia or Slovenia.
Yeah,
or Lithuania.
I'm sorry.
Eastern Europe. There we go. Eastern European fish.
The stag do staples are.
Were you in a landlocked country?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
The stag do staples have got to be burger and chips
from an Irish bar.
Lager. Yeah, exactly. Just don't touch anything else.
Well, we went to an Irish bar and drank it out of Guinness.
That's more like it.
It's not a very good Irish
culture. I like
soaking up the mackerel oil.
Yeah, I read it instantly. So.
Oh, not surprised. My second one. I bought tickets to a gig for me and a girl to go to, and the girl I was pretty aware was going off me at this point. So I thought I needed to make a big gesture to pull things back around. And so I bought tickets to go and see Jose Gonzalez. And then she broke up with me. So I decided, you know what? I'm not going to waste this. I'll just go with my mate. I'll go with my housemate, Mike. So Mike and I, as mates, went to go and watch Jose Gonzalez in Manchester. You know Jose Gonzalez?
Is he the guy from the TV advert with all the balls?
The Sony Bravia advert where all the balls are rolling down the hill. That's him. Was
this
guitar?
Was this like a sit-down concert or like a gig?
It was a gig where everybody was stood up but cuddling each other, and Mike and I weren't. I mean, he's not into that sort of thing whatsoever. Yeah. Oh, extra points, by the way, for both of you, if you can guess where Jose Gonzalez is from. What nationality he is.
England.
No.
Right, so you want us to say Spain.
And then you're thinking maybe Portugal.
But then you go Spanish-speaking. Colombia.
No, he's Swedish.
Oh, rubbish.
See, I thought that's why I said England. I thought you were trying to trick us.
Well, I am trying to trick you, but I mean, Jose Gonzalez. Anyway, Mike didn't thank me for taking him to that gig, so I said, come on, mate, we'll go to another gig, right? And this time I bought tickets for the two of us. He's not really a music fan. And we went to go and see Slipknot, and he hated that just as much.
I mean, again, I've got no sympathy for you.
I loved it.
It's one extreme to the other, isn't it?
Yeah. A non-music fan who's your friend.
Oh,
you to two separate gigs.
Oh, you don't like Jose Gonzalez? I know what you probably like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's that big a Venn diagram of like Slipknot fans and Jose Gonzalez fans. I just imagine it's you in that little bit in the middle.
me on my own. Right, James, what's your number one worst purchase?
Right, so this is for the aftermath of this. Let me take you to the Hayworth Arms.
We were there last week.
I was going to say, it keeps coming up.
Old Boys, 2016.
Ooh.
May. Burnley versus Charlton.
Oh my God, yeah.
Burnley win the EFL Championship for the first time in my lifetime. promoted to the Premier League. We've
Yeah.
had a lot of beers the night before.
In readiness for them winning.
Yeah. Game kicks off at 12:30. Done by 2:30. At 2:30, for whatever reason, stood on the bar whilst 140 Jaeger bombs are ordered.
How much is that? How much is that?
I mean, not all me, admittedly. It was split about 5, 6, 7 ways. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Locals getting involved. Unreal. Teaching people songs.
Two times.
Went to the Gardeners after another pub in Hull. Needless to say, bed for about 5 o'clock. A few hours sleep. Went out for a couple of hours in the evening. Thought, I'll just put myself to bed. The next 3 or 4 days of that hangover were about the worst feeling in my life.
So,
not the booze, more all of the sugar in the world in those Jaeger bombs.
Oh yeah, and I mean all the caffeine as well. You've got heart palpitations. The alcohol's slowing your heart down. The Red Bull's speeding it up, and then the sugar's just ruining your head.
But yeah, it was a good laugh though.
I'd say it was worth it, but then I didn't pay for any of the 140 Jaeger bombs, so.
Isn't that where when you were at the Gardeners as well, you found that other Burnley fan who was the really old guy?
Oh, probably.
You probably can't remember that. You were singing a 2 times song, and you were like, Burnley have won. And he was like, yeah, I know, I'm here for a funeral or something. And
he was there for a wake.
Yeah, proper old boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that made his day better anyway. Right.
Go on, Wilco. Hit us with your third.
Okay, so the third one paints me out probably in the worst light.
No, it can't be worse than the leather jacket and the smoked fish. I'm sorry, it doesn't get worse than that.
Okay, so
unless you purchased a no.
What?
I'm going to let you say first.
No, so I'm trying to think when it was. February 2012, 2013.
Valentine's month.
Yes. So I'd realised I didn't want to be in a relationship anymore, but didn't want to break up before the 14th because...
You're a romantic.
I didn't want to be an arsehole. The problem with that was said girlfriend, because we couldn't see each other on Valentine's Day, then came through to my house. So we went out for an evening meal, but I also bought her a big bunch of flowers as well.
Knowing you were going to split up with her?
The next day.
Mate.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Still, it's not worse than the fish.
It just wasn't very good. So she posted a photo online as well saying, I've got the best boyfriend ever. And a photo of the flowers. And then like 2 days later, he was just no longer in a relationship.
Oh, man.
I thought I was doing the right thing by waiting till after. But I probably made it work by going out for a meal and buying the flowers. And
there's no good time to get fired. There's no good time to get dumped. Although it always seems like the worst time. It's just life runs its course sometimes. However, ordering that fish and wearing that jacket, inexcusable.
Oh, I didn't say I was wearing the jacket at the time.
I'm surprised she didn't leave you then.
You started that sentence then, Ben. I thought you were going to go full agony, and I was going to be like, oh,
yeah.
Ben's emotionally sound for Wilco here. It's class, but then bang, fish,
well,
bang,
Jay,
leather jacket.
Well, see how you feel about this one. This is the worst purchase I've ever made in my life, and this is the reason that I thought we should do this week. When I was a lot heftier, I was trying to shift some weight, and how do all fat people try and shift weight when they're no good at it? They buy protein powder and don't do any exercise. So I bought myself some protein powder. I started going to the gym, no cardio, because I don't want to get like proper skinny. I just want to be bulky and that. So yeah. So I finished a whole tub of that stuff, and I was like, I like that. But I tried to buy some more, and they weren't selling it in Aldi or something like that. And so I go online to My Protein or something or other, and I'm like, right, come on, end game. What do we want? Fat wallet, skinny body. We want one that makes us lose weight, and also, it doesn't cost too much. So I bought this one that was a proper weight loss protein powder, and it said on the side when I got it, it only had a little scoop, like a thimble type thing, tiny, and then had loads of water. I'm thinking, this is nowhere near the consistency of the chocolate flavored one that I was, drinking before. And it's not a very good gateway, is it, to losing weight, drinking chocolate smoothies? But nonetheless, that's what I was doing. And so rather than put the thimble in, I just got the scoop from the last one and put about 3 massive thingies in because, more protein, more weight loss protein, more weight loss, more muscles. Yeah. This sounds so obvious, right? Because now I look back and I know why this was all happening. But basically, I started taking this stuff and I got intense headaches that meant that I couldn't sleep. But then I had a really bad stomach, which meant that I couldn't go and do any exercise. And so it was a bit like a mental arm wrestle. Do I run and shit myself or stay up all night? And so I've been stayed up all night a few nights. I just thought, right, the worst you can do is shit yourself. So I went for a run and, I was just horrendously unfit. So, short little jog around the block and then came back home. Job well done. I think I'll go to sleep. Didn't sleep that night. So I thought, right, I'm going to go for a proper long run here. And, no, I'm not even going to go into detail, but I was faced with a decision. I either run home and probably make it, but can't clench, or walk and clench. And in the end, I got to a midway point, ran into a pub, pooed my pants, threw them in the bin, and walked home. But anyway, got back and I thought, there's got to be something going on. I need to work out, what it is that's making me feel this way. And the protein powder that I bought, it was infused with a lot of green tea extract, which helps you lose weight. It's also full of a lot of things that you don't want to be poisoned by, which give you diarrhea and headaches. And so in trying to lose weight, I suppose I did in a way, but I also couldn't go in my local ever again. So I think that's the worst purchase. I think that's worse than any jacket. Wearing a jacket is much better than not wearing your boxers.
That's a very elaborate story for why you barred from your local.
Oh, don't worry. I've moved many times since then because of this. Right, boys, I've got a little plan for the next little segment. Do you remember this sound? James, you'll be familiar. This sound is what we do before we play a game. And you guys are going to be entering into a game of verbal tennis, which is probably the easiest podcast game in the world, but I hadn't thought to do it until right now. So what we're going to do is you guys are going to take it in turns, and I'm going to officiate. You guys can stick your hands up if you think that the other person's wrong. If nobody sticks their hands up, and if I ignore your hands, that means that it's been ignored. I'm allowing it. You go back and forth saying one of a category until, the other person can't say one. And no blaming the internet connections because they've been all right so far. I'll start us off. We're going to go, Wilco, you're going to kick us off. And we're going to say pubs with animals in the name. Go.
The White Lion.
The Red Lion.
The Blue Badger.
The Horse and Hounds.
The Fox Inn.
These pauses are quite generous, boys. Need to quick it.
The Owl.
The Dog.
The Dog and Gun.
The Duck Pond.
I've lost
3,
it.
2, 1. Oh my!
Oh yeah.
Oh, were you going to say the Elephant and Castle? That's wild. Why did your mind go to elephant first of all the animals that can be pubs?
You're just going to go big to small, mate. You know what I mean?
So you'd gone through the mice and men. That sounds weird.
Mice and men.
I don't know. Right, okay. That worked, I'd say, averagely well. Should we go for? We're going to go for another one. Now, I've written a beer here that you can't say, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. And if anyone says the danger beer, then, you lose. So, lagers. Well, James, start us off.
Stella Artois.
Budweiser.
Foster's.
Bud Light.
No, James, cancel the game. Don't you dare say that on our show.
Horrible beer.
Right. Should we, that went, we might never do that game again.
It went pretty averagely, didn't it?
It went averagely. You know what? We're not even looking to fill time this week. We're not vamping. So we'll move on to our brewery of the week.
Right, fellas. We've gone Salt Brewery this week.
Yes.
For a couple of reasons. So Salt Brewery, very, very young, since 2018.
Yeah.
Part of the Ossett family. So if you've ever had beer from Ossett, Rat, Riverhead, Fernandez, they're all under the same umbrella company. We've picked this one just in terms of it's from my home village. The tap room's at the old tram shed in Saltaire. We're hoping that we mentioned before on this podcast that we're doing a charity walk next May. So we're hoping that on the 29th of May, which is Saturday, 2021, we'll have an event on at Salt Brewery, the tap room.
And to all of the listeners, all 15 of you, you can come along. Definitely.
Yeah,
more the merrier.
Everybody come down. So as I say, it's quite young. I picked some beers out for you guys to try. So we got the ICAT, I believe both of you guys have got.
Yeah, after last week, I said in no uncertain terms that I don't want to drink any surprisingly strong beers. And then have a few sips of this, and the 6% is actually an 8%. And it's a big can.
Like it all, does it?
No, it's absolutely gorgeous. It hides the alcohol really nicely.
So
love it.
So for a bit of balance in terms of all of the products, all of the beers are named after the textile industry because obviously it's the tightest salt air. So I've got a Jute, the Session IPA, which is like the house beer at the tap room.
Yeah,
really nice.
I've also got a Huckerback as well, which is the New England IPA. You guys are on the double IPA, so I just thought I would do a little bit of a shout out for all their beers. One of the other reasons we're doing this is we're hopefully going to get Adam on from Saltaire next week. Saltaire being the older of the two breweries in the village. We thought we'd do a bit of balance, a bit of compare and contrast between the two styles. So this one first is the younger brewery trying to brew in a little bit more of a modern style, but I think they make some delicious beers. For me, the Jute and the ICAT that you guys have got are absolutely delicious.
This ICAT is awesome, but in what scenario do you drink an 8% beer?
So my housemate Sam actually works for Salt.
Okay.
He has it as his nightcap, his go-to end of the night beer.
This would be my end of the night beer whenever I drank it because I wouldn't have any choice in the matter.
Yeah. Especially, we're talking about availability and accessibility. I think Tesco do this at £3 a can for the 440, which is ludicrous. 8%, 440 ml, £3 a can.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What do you guys reckon to them?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. So we've got our Beer 52 orders that come on a monthly basis. So we got this alpaca, which I've not tried yet, but I went on a bit of a mission on Sunday, which I've already spoken about. Drank a load of the salt beers. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Just this ICAT is absolutely delicious, really refreshing. My favourite of the lot by a long way.
No, yeah, I really like it. It tastes like a session IPA almost, I think, you can't tell. It's really nice. The alpaca's really nice as well. I got that in the Beer 52 this month.
Yeah, that's the one.
Which is really good. And I also, based on a little crossover with your previous podcast, there's a Salt Magic Rock combo.
Also
£3 a can for a 440ml. A New England IPA. I haven't had it yet, but it sounds nice. So
I saw that today. Oh, wish I got it.
So.
And if you check our Instagram, I'll be doing a review of the Hookerback as our can of the day this week as well. So,
awesome. We love it. So, I mean, we've also, when we're talking about getting breweries on, we've also got Storm Brewery coming on in later weeks, which would be really good. They're the Macclesfield-based brewery we were talking about last week. But yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot of rating to go on, is there, in the spotlight? We're just talking about if you are in the supermarket, buy salt.
Yeah, really nice.
And if you're in the Saltaire area and well, hopefully join us in May. But if you are in the Saltaire area and you know me, not if you don't know me, give me a ring. And also check out the tap room because it's fantastic.
Oh, can't beat a brewery with a tap room, he says, having never been to a brewery's tap room. Oh no, tell a lie, James. Where's the one we went to? Is that Saltaire?
Yeah, you've been in this. You've been in the building we're talking about.
Happy days, right? I have been to one.
Mad that it's literally like 5 minutes between the two breweries, isn't it? As well, between Salt and Saltaire.
Yeah, it's about a mile. Saltaire's in Shipley, actually, just outside. But yeah,
it's like Dundee and Dundee United football grounds. You'd spit at one from the other.
If you're that type of person.
Which they quite regularly do, I've heard. Right, okay. Well, should we play a different game? I just want to see how it goes.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
All right. So we're going to name common beers in a circle. So it's going to be me, Wilco, James, me, Wilco, James.
Okay.
I don't know how it looks on the screen that you're looking at. I'm going to generate a random letter, and I'll show it to you guys. And then it's beers beginning with that letter. And I've not revised. I don't know how you could revise, but, well, I did try. But, you know, it could be any letter. So here we go. Right.
Just to let you know, Ben, I can't see the screen.
No, neither could I.
Yeah, I know. I realised that. So what we're going to do, we'll pretend. Okay, here we go. Generate random letter. It's M. So go on. I'll start us off. So me, Wilco, Brunskill. And I'm going to go for Moretti. Is it Beera Moretti?
I think we'll let you have Moretti.
Wilco.
I haven't got a clue.
James Corner. Yeah. You know what? It's really hard, isn't it?
If you said C, that might have been a bit easy.
Carlsberg, Carling.
James?
You could have gone Michelob Ultra.
Right. I'm gonna delete all of this out of the
This is where James just puts us to shame.
Yeah, that wasn't very inclusive, was it?
Just do another one. Do another letter and then you can edit this.
Yes. I like it. Okay, right. So the random letter is G. So we're going with me to start, then Wilco, then James. So Grolsch.
That was the one I was
Wilco gave us the big thumbs up. Got this.
Goose IPA.
Oh, my favourite.
Goose 312.
Goose. They have a stout. Oh, Goose Island Imperial Stout. Is that a thing?
Do they have an Imperial Stout that's imported?
Oh, don't do this with your technicalities. They have a stout which looks like it's in a champagne bottle. I've heard it's the best.
Okay.
Grimbergen.
I'm all out.
I think both of mine were wrong, so we'll just cut this all out. Right, okay, so here we go. I'll do another segue then. So, boys, even though we're recording on Thursday, so we haven't seen Man United absolutely smash Spurs on Friday, the Premier League is back. We're happy, right?
Yeah.
We're happy with what we've seen?
Shout out to David Luiz. He was number 4 on my top worst purchases.
It's just
I couldn't remember whether he was bought or not. I feel sorry for him, obviously, but
Yeah, he did have to come out, like, because before the game, they asked Arteta, they were like, why is David Luiz not in the team? And he said, David Luiz isn't in the team because he's not up to it. And then because of injuries, they brought him on pretty early. Yeah. He came on, gave the ball away, which put Raheem Sterling through on goal, scored a goal. That's bad enough. Then you've got to sort of, make amends for that. And he got sent off, didn't he, before half-time by pulling Mahrez down in the box, which meant penalty 2-0, good night, God bless. And that was his early bath as well.
Well, I mean, it's great news to my lot, innit? Like,
what on earth do your lot have to do with this?
So City have had a warm-up against Arsenal, 1-3-0. God only knows how many goals City are going to score.
And they rested Aguero for that one because they knew that was going to be the easy one before the Burnley game.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking.
Burnley didn't lose to Brentford 3-2.
Oh, God, Arsenal didn't they?
Yeah, it's the warm-up.
Yeah, but they made the mistake, didn't they? And they were like, oh, my apologies, we've lost 3-2. That was the announcement.
I'm glad it's back. I think the first game was a bit underwhelming, apart from the controversy. But
yeah,
especially when you backed 3.5 total goals and over. That was for it to finish 0-0 was a bit harrowing.
It was like watching straight white porn. It was like, I suppose it is what it is, but it's not exciting, is it?
I think I said to you as well, because no one had the names on the shirts.
Oh, yeah.
I can't watch Aston Villa versus Sheffield United and know who people are, because...
No.
You know who Jack Grealish is, because he's the only decent footballer at Villa.
No, that's not how you know. He's the one who has a plait on his head, a shave in the sides, and then a fade. Like, what haircut would you like today, Jack? I'll have all of them, actually. Could I have a bit of...
Top shelf left to right.
Pint of top shelf, please. But yeah, I've just alluded to the fact we're recording on a Thursday because we've all got these prior commitments. So it's an interesting one. We've only had a couple of days between episodes, hence the struggle to get the beers. But such is our commitment to the cause.
And for people listening on Sunday, happy Father's Day to everyone.
Oh yes, James and I are visiting our illegitimate children today. I hope you all are too.
Don't tell anyone though.
Wilco, happy Father's Day, mate.
Oh, thank you.
Father to two lovely dogs.
Yeah, I have got two lovely dogs. But happy Father's Day to Jimmy Newsley. New father again.
Oh, yeah, new father. Congratulations.
Is it a new father if you've already got a kid? I thought the novelty wore off.
Don't know.
Yeah, we'll go with ambivalence and it'll be fine.
Yeah,
go on. Lifting weights and drilling cans, so fair play to him.
Lifting weights and drilling cans. That's two things I'm rubbish at.
How did you say his second name?
Yeah, I want to take issue with this as well. This is worse than the mackerel or the leather jacket.
Newsley?
It's not a breakfast It's not a breakfast cereal.
How do you say it?
I've never said it out loud.
Never said it. I just go with Jimmy the French.
Yeah, if you have a friend who's of another nationality, that tends to be how it goes.
He's the only person in my phone book that isn't first name and surname.
Wait, James, is Wilco is he just the least ignorant out of us? Because we'll get Jimmy on. We'll ask. We'll get.
Yeah, it's like what would it come across as very xenophobic here?
He's French. It doesn't matter.
Jeez. Right then, shall we scooch over to the next portion of the show?
From France to Ireland.
Oh, aye.
Ooh.
So, it's the three-way Guinness game.
All-time standings, James 2, Ben 2, others 0.
Yeah, that's a very important stat, the others.
Toby disgraced himself when he came on. Hi,
Toby. Well, Toby didn't disgrace himself. He promised the world and then delivered a sip. But it was apparently good beer, and you said it was your favourite beer of lockdown, so there might be some weight to that argument.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I just remembered he didn't win. But now I remember he was actually drinking Stay Puft Marshmallow Porter, wasn't he?
Yeah, so We can allow it, I
We
reckon.
can allow it, yeah.
So, Wilco, have you got your pint of Guinness ready?
I'll just call for a can. Bear with me.
See, he got his phone out, and I thought he had the first version of the iPhone to come out, where he's just going to pretend to drink a pint, like, you know, that app that everybody used to have.
Oh, the little Carlin app.
Yeah. Didn't even know it was Carlin, to be fair. We need to have a word with them about their branding.
Oh, going back to the Hayworth Arms, this is showing my age. But on a Thursday night, Tennant's Pilsner used to be £1, but you could also get Carlsberg for, I think it was $1.25 or $1.30 if you showed the Carlsberg app and you drank a pint in front of a virtual pint in front of the bar. You can have a pint for like £1.20, £1.30.
That was very cutting edge at the time, to be fair. Like, to be chasing after apps and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, especially like if you think about how long ago I went to uni. Like,
I was going to say, were you paying in pounds, pence, and shillings, or are these, halfpennies?
Decimalizations kill the planet, mate.
So is the steam engine and the wheel.
Well, that explains why I picked the beer this week, isn't it?
Well, oh, love it. I'll tell you what, though, to be fair, we went to uni in Hull, where the wheel was only recently invented, and they still don't have proper internet, so...
Yeah, it's a glorious but strange place.
Right then. So, are we all going to drink on... No, we can't all drink on 3, can we? Who wants to go first? I'll step up.
I don't know. Go on then, mate.
Go on then. Right, so... Wilco, what we do is we commentate on the drinking of the beers. So, James, do you want to commentate on me?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't see anything at all. All I can feel is Ben's about to pick up the glass.
Oh, we'd like to just say that the internet connection has been absolutely shocking. So if this even makes it to your ears, like, thank you very much for listening. This is more niche than any of the second CDs of the Now That's What I Call Music albums. Right, here we go. James, I'm putting it to my lips when I go quiet. Ready?
So presumably he's put it to his lips. He's looking confused, a little bit angry. He's drinking his death.
He's finished. He's finished.
He should have stopped by now. Oh, he's finished.
He's finished.
And now we wait for the answers.
So I'm just going to upload this to the group that we're all in. I'll tell you what, I was quite happy with it, but I reckon I've overshot by maybe a millimetre or two. It's a value, it's not a bad first try, but it's definitely not going to win. There's good competitors out there. It's a good field. So, try my best. I'd just like to thank, everybody who's helped me get here. My mom, my dad. Not going to go into the American voice again. Don't worry.
Oh, I mean, it's a high bar to start with, guys. We're talking 2 mils out, I think.
I'm happy with that though, because, the I is the saviour. The G makes it look awful because the G goes higher than the I. So between the G and the harp, it's just unachievable. So, James, your camera's been frozen the whole time. So, you'll have to commentate on yours whilst you drink it.
Okay. I'll move the mic closer as well. No. And I'm done.
Oh, right. Well, that was okay. I didn't even know you started. What are we saying?
So, shout out to Alex Calder, 5 for 5. Shout out to Shrove Tide Football, 5 for 5.
Oh, we need to talk about that. Alex Calder, brewer of Calder Barn beer, sponsor of the show.
So for a bit of context, me and Calder have been talking about 200 attempts of this lifetime. That number changes all the time. I have no idea. I've overshot. I've won once. I've overshot every other time. Today is an actual first.
No.
I want to hear the response from the boys when I post this in the group.
Yeah, it needs to go on the group because your camera's frozen. So we're. I'm not sure.
That's a disgrace, isn't it? I'm halfway down the heart, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody, you obviously can't see, so I need to put this into words. Imagine if Wilco ordered the mackerel wearing the jacket holding the flowers of his his relationship ending.
Whilst Jose Gonzalez plays in the
and he shits himself because of the protein powder that he bought. Imagine all of those things happening simultaneously whilst he still had Alpecin shampoo in his hair. That is, none of that is even close to as embarrassing as what James has just posted in the group.
Well off the mark.
The entire drinking from the top to...
We're actually going to put this on the social medias to just... We've had so much practice of this. I mean, we're in episode 5 now. We're veterans. And we can't be turning out shite like that.
The total drinking amount is about 5 centimetres, and I've missed by at least 2 centimetres there.
See, do you guys think it's any coincidence that the first time we can't see James's camera is the first time that he absolutely fucks it? I'm starting to think there's a conspiracy there.
That I'm match fixing.
You're match fixing.
I'm match fixing the Guinness game.
Tell you what, though, it didn't take much match fixing last week. I had the thirst starting that episode, and well, it was nice to hear what I said at the end, having re-listened to it a few times because I couldn't remember. But sorry, Gemma Collins, I actually really enjoyed your program. Don't tell my mates.
Go on then, Wilco.
Right, so I don't have a Guinness glass.
Right, so right, I need a picture of that. What's it? Right, you need to send us a picture of that you've made. That is awesome. So this doesn't actually work very well.
So based on your photos,
I put gaffer tape on the side of my Guinness glass. I put blue tack on the side of my Guinness glass and made it, signify the level that it needed to get to. Josh has gaffer taped the word Guinness to his glass. I mean, it looks like it's about to be shipped to somewhere, but...
I mean, I've written Guinness too big, so I think if I say to the bottom of the G...
I mean, that is
basically, whatever you do,
How many fingers is it for you on a glass?
3.5.
So if I say the middle of the G, bottom of the G?
Yeah, if you go to the little, sort of horizontal line.
Oh, so this is the first time I've actually ever played this game, so...
Whoa, where have you been, man? You need to come to Ireland more often.
Or I've got an excuse lined up, so...
Guinness, look. He puts the glass to his lips. He looks intensely at it, and he pulls it out. Oh, my God, it was a fast one. I'm not really sure what it's up to because the gaffer tape...
Way off.
Oh, my God. Right, ladies and gentlemen, he's disgraced himself again. James... You're not out of the woods, mate, because you've had loads of practices and it's his first try. But beginner's luck doesn't work for this one because Josh Wilkinson has come second in the Guinness game.
I'm about a finger off.
So for scores-wise, just to update everyone, for anyone who can't count, Ben 3, myself 2, Wilco...
And others?
Others. I was going to say half, but we're going to go half,
I think half a point's fair.
Half a point's fair.
I'm not that far off.
If we're going to entice all these big breweries on, James, we need to give them some sort of incentive, and half a point, I think, is a reasonable thing to get them on here.
And what does half a point make?
Prizes.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was going to say a tweet. Seems to be the criteria. I'll tell you what, having got Twitter back, right, I deleted Facebook because, it's fashionable. But also, it's just seemed like a bit of a waste of time. But Twitter is so angry. So much anger flying around, like the lockdown and whatnot. I can't just log on and feel annoyed.
I've never been on it.
Never ever?
No.
Oh, you need to get it and retweet some of our things.
Yeah, 100%.
Just for that purpose.
That's literally the only reason I have it, so yeah.
Just before we finish the Guinness game, guys, I'm just going to say, before next week's episode, if anyone wants to send a video in to us, I'm going to put together a mixed case of some beers that I like for the best short video of a Guinness game attempt. So if you don't have a glass, then make your own.
Oh.
It doesn't have to necessarily be Guinness. I'm going to put together a mixed case of beers to send out to the best video. So.
And every entry will be put on the Instagram account. So That is definitely one to think about. Send in whatever you like, as long as you're drinking a Guinness.
And obviously, I'm going to judge it on how close you are, but also creativity. I understand not everyone has a Guinness glass. Doesn't have to be Guinness. Just your interpretation of that, and mixed case with some beers, maybe a couple of glasses and stuff out to whoever we think's the best. So let us know.
That is a brilliant idea. As you can tell, we've discussed this at length, and
I definitely haven't just had 4 beers in an hour and gone, this seems like a good idea.
See, I was thinking about a beer giveaway, but then you got to buy the beer and send it. So I'm interested to see how we're going to do this.
And if you could use our hashtag #MoreCansPod and hashtag Guinness Game, it's easier for us to find as well. But we'll put all the details on our social media, so you guys can find it.
Right, Josh, you weren't expecting this, but have you got any other business to discuss at the end of this podcast, having just drilled off your 8%?
Yes, I actually have.
Yes.
Ooh.
Tiny Rebel Jam Donut.
Oh, pump up the jam.
Yeah.
Not worth the hype.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I mean,
Can you go into a bit of detail before we delete everything you've said off the show and re-record it?
I liked it. I'm not saying it's a bad beer, but it's not as good as I was expecting. With all that you see posted about it, and obviously they're quite good at branding it, and obviously they're only going to share what people think about it. But
could you give us a rate? Go on, give us a rating out of 10. What would you rate Pump Up the Jam out of 10?
5 or a 6.
Oh,
I'm with Volk. It's my least favourite of their core beers.
Yeah.
I
had the shakedown the day before,
great
and
beer.
I really liked that.
what's the lazy? Oh, what's it called?
Easy Living.
Easy Living. I like that.
I think that's a good beer. Peaches and cream, I think, has enough tartness to be not as sweet as the Pump Up the Jam.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'll tell you what I did like. It's just the novelty of like having the sip and somebody saying it's exactly like a jam donut, and you're like, it fucking isn't. And then you have a sip, fucking is.
It is.
It's still beer. It's still beer, which I think is good.
And I think it's fantastic what they're able to actually do. The fact that you are able to say, "Yeah, I can get that. That is a jam donut." But
Beakley, I'm not having 10 pints of it.
I could only have 1 can.
I mean,
yeah.
For those who follow us on Twitter and Insta, especially Twitter, I think we do need to send a can of Pump Up the Jam for final appraisal to Martin Blunt.
My God. Oh my God. Yeah, I've got one in. So you know what? I'm going to take him for Father's Day. That is a great idea. I'm going to take him a load of beers for him to review, and we're going to forward these. And for those who don't follow us on the social medias, he said that, Club Tropica was where our Tiny Rebel adventure all started. And he said that Club Trop sounded like, it tasted like, get the sense right. It was something like when they round up all the beers at the afters and then pour everything into one glass and you have a sip. And I don't really know how he knows that.
You know exactly how he knows that. Come on.
It just doesn't taste like it's got fag butts in it. And, yeah. I thought it tasted like alcoholic Rubicon. He thought it tasted like fag butt sort of punch from outside. But, we will do that, actually, James. That's a great idea.
Dad reviews I've got a lot of time for, so
we'll carry on the dad reviews. James, you got any other business for us?
Not really. I was just going to reiterate before about if you want to get involved with the charity walk we're doing, we're going to launch at Wilco's. It's good that Wilco's here because Wilco's joining us, Ben's joining us. There's 8 of us doing it at the moment. If you want to get involved, please just drop us a line. I'm just going to remind everyone of our email, which is morecans8wise@gmail.com, and also watch out for some stuff on YouTube over the next couple of weeks. We're going to try and do some stuff and see what works.
If you think that it sounds disorganized when we're recording, 2 things. 1, you're right. And 2, it's not as disorganized as you're going to see in the videos, because the videos do not discriminate, because we don't know how to edit the videos. The videos are going to go on in full on the YouTube, for you all to see.
A bit of behind the scenes, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you can see the behind the scenes. If I'd have known that they were going to go on YouTube, might have chosen my outfits a bit differently. But, you know, we live and we learn.
For those who can't see it today, Benny's rocking the fetching powder blue vest top today.
Well, can you see my sunburn line?
And the Lego Man haircut.
The Lego Man haircut is actually... This is a throwback to when I actually used to sport this haircut on purpose. And
very 2010.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's good to get likened to the likes of Velma from Scooby-Doo, Michael McIntyre, and a Lego Man. Shows you versatility that the haircut has.
I shared a picture of 2010 uni lacrosse this week.
Yeah.
There is some hair in that picture, isn't there?
It's exactly like that.
Well, so the indie sweep when you used to wear your top man chinos to go to an indie club, yeah.
The welly
polo shirt.
The welly sweep.
Polo shirt with the collar up, because that meant that you were sound, and if you had it down, that meant you weren't sound. That was
me for 4 years of my life. Converse, skinny black jeans, original Penguin polo shirt buttoned up to the top.
Yeah.
Thinking I was the greatest person in the world.
And you were right, James.
Yeah,
so yeah,
somebody has to be wrong, don't they?
So right, well, fair enough. I think we've come to a natural conclusion. Those top 3 worst purchases were absolutely awesome. I really enjoyed all of them. Yeah, if you could just send us a bit of who do you think was the most embarrassing? I'll put a poll out later on. But apart from that, yeah,
and get posting your Guinness game stuff. We'll put it all out.
We're gonna put it all out. If you've even made it this far, we fucking love you. I've had the 8%.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're still aiming for 1,000 before we 1,000 listens before we get the jackets, and we're nearly a third of the way there. So perfect. We'll get them soon, embroidered, and we'll be on your high streets very soon, even if you aren't.
And thank you very much, Wilco, for being on today.
No, thanks for having me,
Wilco,
boy.
absolute legend. Your purchases were far and away the best ones.
I didn't know if I should say one story, but it doesn't matter, doesn't it?
The mackerel, honestly, mate, it'll live with you forever. All right, thanks very much, guys.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.